apologies for the delay, but RJ and I were chatting away, and then I suddenly realised that it's 1 minute past the hour. So I say hello to Graham, and thanks for joining us, Graham. And if you want to join us on camera, then you're more than welcome to do so. You just need to type guest. Hello, RJ.
Hello, Stephen. How are you?
I'm good. It's a good day today for many reasons. One, I'm back from my travels. 4 trains in one day. Well, you can do it, but it's not the best way to spend a day.
Right.
At least all of them were on time. But I'm happy now because we're together and chatting and talking about our favourite topic, which is messenger bots. And Graham is saying he hopes we're both well. And
Thanks,
ladies
Steve.
first.
I am super well, Graham. Me and Stephen on a Wednesday. Does life get better than this? Slightly, occasionally, maybe, but not really. Super enthused to be on this morning and chatting with Stephen about bots. You, Stephen?
I'm exactly the same. I always look forward to our Wednesday chats and to learning and discovering more and more about messenger bots, which are everybody's best friend, or should be. And we say hello to April. April, thank you for joining us. It's good to see you. And well, as we're talking about bots, I mean, we've talked about general bots before, and now you're getting into areas which may be of use to people watching the show. And so therefore, we're going to head over, take our names off the screen, because we're going anonymous now, as we talk about shopping carts and abandoned carts. I don't know why I said that. Forget it. Sorry, it's all yours.
It was intriguing, Stephen.
Yes.
So yeah, I've getting a lot of questions in my community about shopping carts, using shopping carts with ManyChat, and especially abandoned cart. So these questions come from our friend Dan Nolson. Yeah.
Our good friend, the chocolate guy, the chocolate man
guy. He has been asking a lot of questions and doing some research into chat bots and abandoned carts and things like that. It started with Dan's site is on Shopify. And there is a company out there called Octane AI that provides a chatbot system that is really, really focused on transactions. Now, the ones that I build are generally it's conversation based, it's relationship building based. Transaction happens sometimes, but these types of the stuff that Octane AI does is much more transaction based, and they've got something in there that is really super neat. Now, Octane AI is only available to you if you've got Shopify. It's that integration only. Generally, that's kind of the thing with these shopping cart things, is that they connect a certain way. Someday, ManyChat is going to start being like Facebook and going, "You have a good company, come on in." Hi, Instagram. We really like what you're doing. So at some point, there may be a full. I'm hoping for a full integration of a shopping cart into just the ManyChat platform, but it's not true yet. Right now, there are little add-ons that you can get if you have a Shopify site. You can use the Octane AI. Their abandoned cart works really nicely because I've tried it. I've gone onto Dan's site, and of course, I wanted I said I was put in my cart the robot mold, the robot chocolate mold, because what else am I going to choose, right? And
indeed.
So chose that, and then left the site to see, because I was testing it to see what it would do, and it sent me a reminder that I had, been looking at this thing, and hey, have you considered blah blah blah, and then a couple of days later, it sent me something else that wasn't intrusive. It was just,
Okay.
great big picture of some chocolate, which God, if you don't like that in your inbox, I don't know if we're friends. So, I mean, it occasionally sends me beautiful pictures of chocolate, and I find that awesome. And so I'm gonna give a great big old A+ to their abandoned cart feature that will integrate with that Octane AI is a chatbot in itself. So I give A+ to that feature. It's awesome. The trouble with and also Dan says, and I have not done this because I have
Okay.
not. I've not set up a Shopify site, but I do have a client who's interested in this Octane AI. So I'll be able to bring you a full report in a little while. But the Dan says the integration is pretty, relatively easy to do. To set up the abandoned cart and all that kind of stuff too, because they've sort of, having built this out as a transaction bot, these things are kind of ready for you to plug into. Again, if you have a
Right.
Shopify site, Octane's
Yep.
available to you. The tough thing with Octane is that you can't do sequences or tagging really, or there's the conversational parts. You have to pay $200 a month for,
Ah, wow.
and you still
That's
got to set it
heavy.
all up yourself and design it yourself and do it yourself. The regular features, the abandoned cart, all that, $9 a month.
All right. Okay. No
Totally
talking.
reasonable.
No
But
need
if
to.
you want to bump up to what ManyChat does with the tagging and with the
Yeah.
sequences and all that, it's a $200 tier. So those are their pros and cons about Octane.
But it does what it says it should do.
Says on the tin, does what it says on the tin. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's just the bigger features that all of a sudden they're like, nope, nope, money, money, money. And so yeah, those are like, yeah, I would
Well,
never.
it's leveling the playing field, because when I go on Amazon, as you do, and I put something in my shopping cart, I'm not going to buy it there and then. I just want it in my cart so that next time I do check out, yeah. Now
Yeah,
they always then send you a message, and we know now how they do it. They send you a message just reminding you your cart is not empty. And I think it does level the playing field, because Dan has a fantastically, enormously successful chocolate factory, but he's not Amazon yet.
right.
Um, so it does help everybody who's in business and selling to keep those sales and to keep people interested and on site as well, which is good. All good. Right.
Odin is making an appearance. He says hello.
Ah, right. Okay. And we've got a half from Graham. I'm not sure when Graham said that, a couple of minutes ago. um, but we're hoping we're still making people smile. Now, we're going to take a sort of segue here into automation, but this time it's a different type of automation, because I am going to do a poll, and I'm in the BeLive studio. And first thing I've got to do is just find my question for you. And I've hidden it well. So, do you use messenger bots is the question. So I'm going to add a poll, and the question goes in. Do you use messenger bots? Yes, no, and thinking about it, which is good. And we'll explain in the next 15 minutes why you should be. Right, I'm going to set that poll to live. So you should now have, if you hover over your screen, a poll which says, do you use messenger bots? And as you answer, if you click yes, no, or thinking about it, then we'll see the real-time results. And this is a sort of bot. It's not a ManyChat bot. It's a bot that BeLive built. The bot that BeLive built. How's that? That sounds good. So as you say, you can vote on that you can just try it out. This is not a marketing exercise. RJ and I don't do those. We're here to make friends and to have a conversation. If you have any questions about messenger bots, then please ask. If you have any questions about polls, please ask. But we just want to celebrate the fact that this has been released by BeLive today, and you'll find full instructions in the BeLivers group as to how to do it. And Adair Palmer and I, along with Ed, had a fun 40 minutes trying to figure it out because it only works when you're live. And I went live. I couldn't see the wood for the trees. I could not, for the life of me, see where the poll is, because it's actually, as soon as you go live, in the lobby section where you've got add a photo and share your desktop is a new box, and it says add a poll. And basically you just add a poll, question, and possible answers. And that's one way of using it. The other way is that you could do a quiz. You could have the question as a quiz. Gentry is saying, yes, the poll is inside BeLive.tv and it's available to everybody. You'll find full instructions in the BeLivers group, but I'll go through it, roll out today, as Graham's confirming. The other thing you can use it for is a quiz. Because you can put up a question and then you can have 4 answers, yeah? But you can also say which is the correct answer.
Right.
Yeah. So that gives it another life. So you could actually be doing a training session with somebody and say, right, okay, I just want to check if you're understanding what I'm saying. Here's the question. Please put in your answer. Yeah. So in that case, you know what the right answer is, and you can see whether people have actually been listening.
So let me ask you this, Stephen, since you are, from a phone, it shows in the comments a poll image, then that you tap and open. Oh, that's kind of cool. So from your interface, Stephen, you as the host and producer of the show, do you see poll feedback in your screen, or do you have to look at a running copy of the show to see the results of the poll?
I would have to, I'm going there now. So hang on. So
this
is live. This is live video. Sorry, RJ. I made
a mistake. You're doing just fine. You're doing great. We're talking about the poll feature, everybody. That Facebook has rolled out their own, but BeLive is rolling out something just today, and we are experimenting through. Chris Ann says she cannot see it. So we're experimenting through. We're trying to see. After leaving and coming back, it's shown. Okay. We're trying to see where this thing is appearing, how people can access it, and how hosts also can access.
Right. And Gentry is going to share screenshots at the end. And Gentry was saying that from a phone, it shows in the comments and a poll image that you can tap and open. And I think on desktop, from memory this morning, if you hover over the screen, it should be somewhere towards top right. Okay, and then you can click it, and people were voting this morning, and it was simply working. But no, I can't see the results from where I am, other than actually bringing it up from the lobby onto the screen, and right, okay, right. So that was bot-like, but it's not ManyChat. So let's get back on topic, and you can carry on voting as you're coming in. Now, a week ago, ManyChat did an upgrade and released some features.
It was actually a couple 3 weeks ago when they had their big conference, and all their new, super new, brand new stuff came out, and everybody was really excited, as we should be. As bots become more powerful, we as people who are selling products and services or producing content and live stream shows, we all become more powerful too. So it's good to be excited. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to wait a little bit and play around with the features, because I knew that plenty of people were, talking about this is what's available now, but I wanted to play around with it a little bit. Was watching through Messenger, could not see the comments, jumped out to the video hub, could see comments now. By the way, Stephen, this is a powerful public service announcement. And I did not realize this at all. I wonder if you realize this too. Yeah, I didn't talk to you beforehand about this, but I discovered that because you and I both cross-post to many, many different pages. And because we cross-post, we always put the link in the top of the post. Hey, if you want to see us and hear us, or and get your questions answered, click this link.
Yeah.
Did you know you can also just click the video?
Oh, no, that's a wow.
Anywhere on the video.
Shall we? So if you're not on the live video hub, then could you please click on the video and you'll come and join us straight away and we'll see your comments. That's magic. Thank you,
It's magical. A client of mine was saying this in his video, and I was like, oh, buddy, no, it can't possibly be correct. I would have known about this. I tested it. There it is. It'll take you right to the video on whatever page they should be watching on for us to get the comments.
Wow.
Yeah. Magical. So I'm going to keep putting the link up in the comments, but only because I repurpose my shows, and then that link shows up right as the first sentence after the title in my YouTube videos. So I'm driving people back to my Facebook Lives in other places. So I'm going to keep putting the link, but this is awesome.
So am I, because every show on the live video hub gets tweeted out twice.
Right.
And it takes the copy that you've actually put in, and it goes out on 2 Twitter accounts, one of which is the live video hub Twitter account. The other one is mine. So that's bringing people in as well. But that's magical. That saves a lot of time. Tip of the week.
A lot of explanation.
Oh, yeah.
Why
do I need to do that? Yeah. So click the picture to make sure you're actually on the right page.
Absolutely.
And we'll see your comments. Right. This is a whistle-stop tour of new features.
New information, babies.
Well, the thing is that these software designers are wonderful. They've put together beautiful software, but then make the assumption that we're all hunter-gatherers, and we're going to go out and we're going to test this software, and we're actually going to find out how to use it. So the days of and Graham's smart, thank you, Graham. That we're hunter-gatherers, we're going to go and look at the software and we'll work out for ourselves how to use it. Now, who'd have thought that clicking the video would take you to nobody gets that one, apart from your customers, of course, because they're clued up. There you are.
They're amazing. So yeah, I thought that I would share that so that you can now share with the entire population what you've learned today in the BeLivers group and elsewhere, because that is awesome. That makes cross-posting even easier. So okay, so we were talking back to bots, everyone. Bring it back in. We are now talking about the randomizer, the new feature in ManyChat that I saw it and I went, that is super powerful, but I wonder how people would use it. And I got so excited that I ran some tests. And here we go. Here is what it is, and here's how you can use it. So what it is that it will store many responses to a button click, basically. It will store 30 responses or 50 responses to a single button click. So if you are, I'm going to use a retail example because everyone will understand this pretty immediately. If you are a restaurant and you have a website and people click into that website and you put up a little spinning wheel and you say, hey, For everybody that comes in this week, we are offering this coupon. Take a spin of the wheel, and on the wheel is a 50% off discount coupon, a 20% off, a 10% off. That's probably most of the spaces, and a 5% off. So you can get anywhere from 5 to 50% off just by randomly spinning this wheel. The computer will pick you a choice, and then you will get a little discount. Most of us have seen this, or most of you have seen Wheel of Fortune. Same concept. Okay. My grandmother-in-law watches Wheel of Fortune every single day, and I love her so very much. Anyway, so it's like spinning that different wheel and then saying, okay, 5% of people get this many people will get the 50% off. This many people will get the 20% off. You kind of set that in the background. And then, people show up to your restaurant and say, hey, I got this thing. I got this coupon or whatever. Yep. Driving foot traffic into a restaurant. But you can't, what I mean by random paths is there are 4 or 5 different paths inside the bot. People click a button and they randomly go down one of those 4 or 5 paths. You've got one set at 5, you got one set at 10, you got one set at 20, you got one set at 50. So those 4 paths, you click a button, it goes down this path or it goes down this path. The computer randomly generates that. That's the sort of spinning wheel part of it. So you could totally use that. If you were a restaurant or if you were a retail location, you wanted to drive foot traffic, you could use the randomizer to give away a discount. You can set it to, this many people will get the big discount. This many people will get the medium discount. You can totally do that on the backside and then print them out a coupon right there on their phone. They can come to the bar or the restaurant and say, hey, I got this. That is probably the simplest way to use it. But Stephen, how would you use it if you were, I don't know, coaching people on how to live stream using BeLive?
Right.
You would.
Thank you. The simplest way is, what would you like to know next? So rather than writing a book and starting at chapter 1 and reading the book all the way through, you can say, right, okay, these are chapters. Just pick a chapter.
Well, absolutely. You could do, and you probably already have this content because you're Stephen Healey and that's what you do. You could do 30 tips of the day, shot glass worth of information. And you could say, hey, want the tip of the day? Click this button. It'll pick one of the tips of the day and then return it to him. And then,
right.
You know what I mean?
I wasn't thinking random, was I?
You weren't thinking random.
I've got to get into this random thing. It's random. Right, okay.
If you're coaching, you just make up 30 little mini tips. Next topic discussions. Absolutely. You can make up 30 little mini tips and have people just every once in a while broadcast to people or just offer people the button and say, hey, you want a little simple, actionable, valuable tip of the day, or, however you would say it, obviously. Click this button here. You could have a little GIF of a spinning wheel. And boop, click here. It gets delivered to you. People who do things like, coaches who do things like affirmations, meditations, manifestation stuff. Oh, yeah, you can use this randomizer. You can use it right now. If you are a coach, use the randomizer, my friends. This is that you can offer people information without having it be a linear. Okay, now you get this. And some classes build on themselves, right? Some things that you're teaching, okay, you have to know addition before you can study multiplication. Some classes are just built that way, that you have to know this before you know this, right? But if you've got people in your bot that are just hanging out, that haven't really participated in a while, and you want to kind of feed that participation a little bit, create this little piece of random chance, this little excitement. Let me tell you why. because gamification is absolutely huge. Because if you were to hit up the App Store right now, any App Store, I don't care what it is, what's the first thing you see just about every single time? Games. Games, my friends, games that people are playing on their phones. It's a little hit of adrenaline when, hey, you could get anywhere from this to this, like the discount we were talking before, right? You could get anywhere from 5 to 50%. Just, touch this button. That sort of randomness and that sort of chance builds people's experience. It gives them a little hit of adrenaline and it makes them want to come back because what other surprises are in this thing? And this is why we must, if you possibly can, gamify your bot experience. Make it something that people really enjoy. Putting games in the bot, they're already used to playing games on their phone. And this is not a full-fledged game, right? This is not we're not asking you to program rocket computer science. We're just asking you to use that randomizer one time every once in a while, getting some momentum going into a conversation with you, a relationship built, and then you get to take it from there.
You set me thinking, RJ. I'm going to think randomly, and I'll come up with an idea for next week, and then we can do it and test it out. Just a reminder, if you want to join us on the show, type guest. If you are not on the live video page, as RJ told us earlier, just click the video and magically you'll join us. I'm going to keep saying that. But if you've got questions, then please do join us on camera. And we'd like to say thank you to Graham for joining us today and to everybody who's watching live. Now, we're up to something. You know us, we're always sort of doing something. And the thing that we're actually doing is we're collaborating. We're working together.
We are.
And we're working together on a Udemy course because we love bots.
We do. We do. And we want to offer a class that is specifically for live streamers, specifically for people who are using, who are streaming into Facebook Live and working on building an audience. We want to provide you the very best of what bots can do. This is not going to be A to Z on everything bots can do because that's another class. But we want to offer a package to people that if you are interested in getting a bot for live streaming, we're going to include templates. We're doing lectures. We're going to provide these things to you because I want to see as many people as I can, as humanly possible, get a leg up on bots. Get a leg up on starting their own, mixing it in with the live stream, like Steven does so often, and I do so often on my own solo show. We want to put this content out for you to take if you want it, and I'm very, very excited about this class because hey, I get to hang out with Steven like more than once a week. Okay, so that's cool.
And the reverse is true. We get to talk together and actually work together and actually create something which hopefully everybody will find very useful indeed. The thing is that what I want to do, like going on live video for the first time and saying hello to Lynn. And late doesn't matter, being here is just awesome. What we want to do, when you're thinking about doing your first live show, and you get the nerves and you panic. Well, we've helped you with the live, both of us, over the years we've been doing this. Now we're going to help with your fear of bots. Because when you take on a bot, what you're actually doing is starting a conversation with one person at a time. I'm using RJ's lines here. Starting a conversation with one person at a time, and you're in total control. You decide exactly what happens on your messenger page. But the thing is that you're actually attracting people to talk to them. And when you talk to them, you can find out what they're interested in. You can have a two-way conversation. So although it says messenger bots, it really is a messenger control system, although we can't persuade everybody else to actually use that. So we're going to take, all right, Lynn's saying she's more scared of going live than bots. Well, I think we can take that on board. But the fear of actually doing it, because we've talked about it and we've structured it, and what we've done with each of the bots is the following. First of all, we give you a demonstration of the bot actually working. Okay, so you can see what it does. You can see what it does recorded. Then we show you exactly how the bot was built. Then the third step is right. We then give you written instructions on how to do it, because I mean, you can watch the video as many times as you want, but if you've got written instructions, step-by-step instructions, and then to cap it all, we actually, if you don't want to do it yourself, then each bot has its own template, and you can effectively cut and paste that template into your own ManyChat account, and it will work straight away. So we think we've covered. I've got 4 of the points there. I missed a 5th. I'm going to revise before the next show.
The thing about the templates is that they are customizable. So these templates are going to have all the right bubbles in all the right place, but they need, because I'm always saying this, and I will say this until I'm in my grave and possibly after, they need personality. They need zhuzhing. They need your love. Okay. They need personality, because let me tell you, the number one comment that people give me, usually right before they hire me, is, I love your bot's personality. It makes me laugh. There's so much out there that is like, people are just kind of copying and pasting a bunch of text into a bot and going, whoop, here you go. Like, people will actually take an email they've written, copy on paste the text into a bot and send it. No, these templates that we are giving you are fully customizable. And we encourage you to do so. We encourage you to not just plug and play. And we'll go over that in the class too, but it's worth a little zhuzhing, my friends. I'm telling you, it has made a huge difference to my bottom line. So anyway, I hope that's enough encouragement.
Yeah, customize and personalize. Take the template and make it your own. But it does mean that in a short space of time, you'll be able to deploy your own messenger bots, have total control over them. And this guide is a beginner's guide. It assumes nothing, and it will take you step by step through bots and bot building. And we'll announce what's in it just before we release it into the wild. And it will be available on Black Friday for a very special price. So thank you to Udemy. And we're enjoying doing it, and we look forward to launching it into the wild and sharing the knowledge, because that's what it's all about, is sharing our knowledge. And we just enjoy doing so, having fun, and perhaps, who knows, making the odd dollar at the same time. Well, that's the first course. The second course is our big money course, and we'll tell you about that after the first one is out. Right, okay, now, just as a note, if you want to know anything about bots, and this, I'm going to say this, if you want to know anything at all about messenger bots, and you want to talk to somebody one-to-one who actually walks the walk and builds bots every single day and helps lots of people to be successful and to increase their reach and to get their audience and to make sales, then please do reach out to RJ at Black Belt Bots, and we'll put the link up. I was going to put it up now, but it's playing up. Black Belt Bots, look out for Black Belt Bots, and RJ will answer all your questions. And there we are. That was the quick advert. Would you like to add to that?
I absolutely, I've got my website there. You can contact me there if you want to just see how how it all works right now, check out mybot.com. That'll take you to a place where you can get into my chatbot, Spinning Dragon, who is my virtual communication specialist. And also a ninja. She will help you get where you want to go inside the bot. You can explore in there, and kind of get a feel for how they work. I have found that that is almost easier than trying to explain verbally how a bot works, because people really haven't been through that. They don't have a framework for the experience. So if you are interested, check out mybot.com. That's where I usually send folks, and no problem at all. If you have an experience and you go, okay, I've done this, you can type stop and you'll be out. You'll never get another message from me. So it's totally worth just dipping in. You try it out for 10 minutes. If it's something that doesn't absolutely delight you, you can absolutely type stop and it'll be fine. No worries from me. I find that's a really great introduction.
Excellent. Right. Okay. If you have any questions, then please do ask them. If you're on the wrong page, just click on the video and you'll join us. Picking that one up.
It was so quick to say, wasn't it, Stephen?
It was. You don't have to explain. You don't have to raise your fingers and point up and say, click that link. And people think, well, what's he doing? Looking like a reindeer. So it saved me the embarrassment of that. That's for sure.
May I make a comment before we go on?
Certainly. Please do.
I think someone has redesigned his set in the background. Stephen Healey.
You've noticed.
I noticed the paintings going up, but now I'm noticing a paint job. Did you redo the color of your wall there?
No, I just switched the light on. It's winter. I've got to switch the light on. Thank you for that, though. It does add a certain something to it. That's good. So I'm experimenting at the moment. I've still got the lighting to sort out, as you can see that way.
Of course.
A shadow. So I'm still working on that. But we're getting there. One step at a time.
One
conversation at a time, one step at a time. That's how you get there, isn't it? I mean, you can't hope to. I mean, the picture that people get about messenger bots is the wrong one, isn't it? That you're actually blasting people with the same thing every day, and that's the way to annoy the hell out of people. You've got to. It's just like a conversation, isn't it? Because people do have. Well, there are two things. People who actually get the messages get the wrong impression, and the people actually creating the messages don't know what they're doing.
Oh, well, and anytime there's something new out there, there are going to be folks that say, I'm going to game this system and I'm going to get as much out of it as I possibly can. I want to become a get rich quick millionaire. That is not the people we're talking to right now. We are talking to real people who don't do those kinds of things. But that there's some folks out there attempting to game the system and just to try to get as much. It's called burning the fields, is one of my favorite people, Jen Belt. She talks about this a lot. And that's fine. What is, my prediction, of course, as to what's going to happen is everybody talks about this 90% open rate number and the 40% click-through rate number. That's not going to stay there forever. So that's why I'm encouraging folks to get into bots right now, because what you can do is, we've got a little time here. You can experiment with the personality and the brand of your bot. You can experiment with images, with video. You can kind of play with all the toys, see where you fit. And then by the time that open rate starts to fall, and it will sometime over the next year, it's going to start to fall. By the time that starts to fall, you'll have your own unique voice in your bot. You will have your own unique personality. People will already be, like, oh, RJ's got something to say, or Spinning Dragon has something to say. I wonder what it is. You know, you'll build that curiosity, you'll build that familiarity and that relationship that that we all benefit from so dearly. So yeah, now is a great time to stick a toe in the water, everybody. If you don't do it today, that's fine. I'm not going to create a huge false urgency and you got to buy it right now. And no. We are not selling anything on this show. But the benefit of it is that you get to kind of experiment and throw spaghetti at the wall just like everybody else is doing. And that's kind of what I love. That's what I love about bots. Stephen, I don't remember why I got on that rant.
It's okay. You're good. It was on point. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
We're talking about people's approach to bots. Talking about before we even started the show, Graham was saying, looking forward to this. Just started. I hope he's still enjoying it. Just started taking many chats seriously on my page to build community and engagement, and that's the right approach, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, and I love it, Graham, because that's what I'm in it for too. And I mean, it's a different approach. I know a lot of builders who will, people who build chatbots for other people, which I do as well. A lot of them are putting right out front, these are my stats. This is how many people I can get in there overnight. Sweetheart, you haven't that many conversations with people overnight too? Because you ain't sleeping, and you better have a staff. If it's just numbers, if it's just this is how many people I can sell to now, that's the wrong approach, because people are tired of being treated like a transaction. They're done. And they're going to flood to any place where they're not treated like a transaction. So that's why that conversational approach, Graham, that's why if you put that into the heart of everything that you're doing, you cannot make a mistake. You might flub up once in a while and send a wrong link out here or there. I've done it. I've done it in the past 24 hours. Okay, let's just be honest. I was sending stuff too late at night last night, and I just forgot to check some things. But you'll flub up every once in a while. But you cannot make a huge mistake. You won't be stepping on Facebook terms of service if you have a conversation and engagement and getting to know people and where they fit in your circle. If you have that at your heart, if you use that as your guide, you're going to be great, man. You're going to be okay. So glad you're watching today. I'm glad that people are really taking the conversational element seriously, because to me, that's the difference maker. Not that, okay, now I can get people to sign up to my stuff without them having to put an email address down. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. But what are you doing with them once they get there? What's the engagement once you get there? What's the conversation like? What's the party like that you're inviting people to? I don't care how many people you got in the door. This is digital land. I don't care how many people you got in the door. I don't care how many likes on your Facebook page you have. You can have 0, and you can have a couple of hundred people inside your chatbot. Your Facebook likes do not reflect, how many people you have in there at all. So yeah, talk to me about what you're doing with people once they're in there. Talk to me about the relationships you're developing. Talk to me about what, those people, they're so much more than a transaction when you have a conversation, because they could become collaborators, joint venture partners. They could become referrals for you, and you could become referrals for them. The transactions could be made. Business could be done with that person as well. But you're building a foundation that includes so much more than how many people can I get to a price tag right now. People aren't transactions. They're just not.
Right. Okay. Totally. We're both on the same page as far as that's concerned. Now, occasionally you read something and you think, what? In the Believers group today, I read somebody was going to spend $10,000 on ads to promote a show. I kid you not.
All right. All right.
Yeah. Well, that's just to promote a show on Be Live. I've got to think, well, what would you be selling to do that? And what would you?
Well, maybe this person
conversion?
has speak up, or I mean,
Yeah.
to me, that's a lot. I think it would be a lot to just about anyone. I
Yeah.
prefer to have something that I know will. I prefer to have a something at the, if I'm running Facebook ads to something, I prefer to know that it already will move people to the next stage, whether that's
Exactly.
a buy or a buy something, or whether that's registering for a different level of service or whatever. I prefer to know that thing that they're buying is already awesome before I say, okay, traffic, come here. But that's me. I mean, to promote a show, was it a brand new show, Stephen? Do you remember?
No, it's an existing show.
Existing show. Okay. All right. That's good.
I'm just setting a poll up. We're experimenting, but I have got a good question for people.
Obviously, you do.
Well, no, I'm not. Right, I'm going to put the correct answer, because we said that you can now put the correct answer. So I'm starting a poll now, and if you want to take part, the question is, I'm going to come in, how much does ManyChat cost per month? And you've got 4 options, and you may click now for the next 12 minutes or so, and just click the answer that you feel is correct, and we'll know at the end of the show when we take a look and see what the results are. So if you're not watching, I'm going to say it again, if you're not watching on a live video hub page, please click the video that you are watching, and it'll bring you straight here, and you can vote, because you can't select unless you're actually on the live video hub page. This is a Be Live TV poll, and it is live in our show. It will stay live until the end of the show, and you have the opportunity to say what you think in the poll. Right, so 10,000 spend. What you think of all the ways that you could actually utilize £10,000 and target an audience through live broadcasting? $10,000. Yeah.
Well, it's a lot. If you have a show that has been running a while, something, and this is totally off the subject of bots now, but you can see on that page, you can see in your stats the kinds of people that interact with your show.
Mm-hmm.
So you can tell Facebook then, hey, go out and find a lookalike audience for, go out and find, you've got your group of people that interact a lot on your page. You can isolate that group of people without, Facebook won't give you their names or anything, I don't think, but that you can isolate that group of people and say, Facebook, go find me these people. Go target the ads towards these type of people with these likes and this type of interactions and all that. Go find me more. Like, I would, so for example, hey, I know Stephen Healey watches my show a lot, and I know he interacts a lot. Could you go find me more Stephen Healey's Facebook? That's what creating a lookalike audience.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Good. Thank you for the example. I mean, that's the thing about live video and about this sort of arena, is that there are a lot of people in our circle. So what you're saying is find people who are similar to people in my circle globally, or in America, or in Canada, or in Japan, or
yeah,
no,
yeah, absolutely. Go find people just like this, because people with your characteristics are they're more likely to interact with the show. So it's like this. If you had a lawn mowing business, Stephen Healey,
Yep.
and you wanted to serve everybody in, I don't know, a mile radius of where your home is, Wiltshire. I know that it's in Wiltshire. You would print up a whole bunch of flyers and you would go put a flyer in everybody's mailbox. That's the way, right? When we were starting our own businesses when we were young, this is how it happened. Creating a lookalike audience in Facebook is now, instead of printing up this whole stack of flyers and walking to every single house, I already know who's already set up. I already know who's most likely going to be super interested in the kinds of service that I provide. So it's like now I walk only to the mailboxes that I think will be interested, and I put a flyer in.
Got it. I understand that now.
Yeah.
Yep. Good. Right. Okay. Our next topic is, what should we talk about next?
Well, ManyChat made a few other they did a few other things as well for updates. And so I'll run through them right now. To me, the randomizer, that's the most exciting thing. That gives us powers that we didn't have before, and that's the most exciting thing. But some of you might find these other things interesting. So very good. One of the things is it got some integrations. So from this point, ManyChat has been able to integrate with other programs, such as your favorite CRM or email program, right? You can, if you ask people for their email address and tell them what you're doing with it and give them a chance to say no, and they say yes, and they give you that email address and say, yep, totally cool to get emails from you. What's previously been happening is that you had to use a third-party program called Zapier to connect ManyChat and your email provider. Well, so what they've done is they've taken two email providers, MailChimp and ConvertKit, and they now have a direct integration. Boom. So you no longer have to use the person in the middle, Zapier, to connect when people type in an email address and say it's okay that you have this and you can use this and it's all right. You no longer have to use another piece of software to connect your email if your email is MailChimp or ConvertKit. I think this is the start of something wonderful because they've also integrated directly with Google Sheets. So, Stephen, I know on the Live Video Hub, you very regularly have a spreadsheet of all the broadcasters and, all of the different things that are going on. Now, instead of having to have another tool connect Google Sheets and ManyChat, it's just directly integrated. It simplifies things. We like simplified things because we are computer people and we love to dink around and add more stuff to the process all the time. But when the chance comes to cut something out, woohoo! We're good with that.
The other thing that what's happening is that the ManyChat price is stable at $10, and we're getting more and more features rolling out, which make life simpler and more powerful at the same time.
That's right.
So I think we've backed the right horse in this race because ManyChat seem to have their stall set out and their route map set out and actually bring in the things that we actually need. So shout out to ManyChat.
A shout out. Well, and here's a question I got in my group this morning was, hey, the question that we used to see all the time, right? ManyChat versus Chatfuel.
Oh, we did.
Because Chatfuel, to be honest, has had this randomizer feature for a while. They've had it for a while, but I got asked why I use ManyChat over Chatfuel. And the thing is this, my clients and I form a collaboration relationship, which means that I am building for them, I'm tweaking things for them, but they're also building and they also want to know how things work. and it makes it easier for them to understand what I'm doing. To me, that's a really valuable thing. If I used Chat Fuel, I would spend days teaching them the interface because that bad boy is complicated. With ManyChat, it's still complicated, but it's a little bit more visual, and it's a lot more user friendly to edit. Boy, Chat Fuel, I've taken a look I look every couple of months to see if they've come along, and
yeah,
they're great. They're very nice people, but I'm waiting for a complete overhaul of that interface before I go touching that with my clients.
Well, that's the thing about software. You get drawn in by the way it looks, and it's very important. It's got to be visually appealing. It's got to be easy to use, and that's what ManyChat is. And we're not being, well, we are being, because we love ManyChat. But it just simply works, and it's one of the simplest to pick up, which is a chance to mention that RJ and I are building the Udemy course, which we'll be releasing, soon-ish, I think is the right phrase.
Soonish.
Well, there we go. The answer to our poll, if you didn't vote, and I'll bring it back to the broadcast again, ManyChat costs you $10 a month. So of all the 4 prices I put on there, $10 is the correct one. RJ, would you like to close the show?
I would. Well, we've learned a lot today. We have learned a lot of different things. We talked about ads. We talked about how to land with us on the same page. We talked about the randomizer in ManyChat. We talked about some of the other new features. There's a lot going on out there in the world of bots. And in the world of live streaming. And I just want to thank our viewers for coming by. This is why we do this show. And if you have any questions for us, if you have any potential topics that you would like to see, just let us know. Either get into the bot, which is super easy to do, and ping us and say, hey, this is what I want to see on the show. Or just write it in the comments. Write it in the comments and tell us what are the questions that you'd like answered on, how you would use something, or, even what is a messenger bot. We'll answer any question you have. Please let us know, because you're our audience and we love you and you're why we're here. So that's all from me this week.
And it's all from me. We'll see you again at the same time next week. Thank you for watching.